What's up, everybody? Phil with Tech Gear Fun here today. First live stream with the new name. Yes, I changed the name. I was streaming on the X-T4. This will be a short live stream. Not sure if folks will show up. It was kind of last minute, but I just wanted to do this. I'll put it up on the channel, and if anybody joins the live stream, we can just chat. But basically, I'm using the X-T4 with the standard profile. I'm streaming at 1080p, so you can see how that looks. I've got the 18-55 kit lens at f4, 1/48th on the shutter, ISO 400. I'll do some testing with the autofocus. We'll see. The face and eye detect is on, and I'm using the general purpose autofocus settings. There are different settings that you can use for autofocus. I'm just using the general purpose ones. One of the things that I've found so far is a lot of times when you have face and eye detect on, as soon as it catches an eye, it'll switch off. And so I found that it has to catch kind of both eyes before it switches off, which I think is actually a really great feature. Sometimes you'll see folks in live streams trying to have to cover their face to focus on something. But with this, even if you have, like you can see here, I have one eye, sorry, I'm looking at my monitor. And for just one eye, it doesn't grab. And then when I move that second eye out, it does a pretty good job. So we'll do a little tracking test. The autofocus seems pretty impressive for me so far. I haven't used it a lot, especially in video. For photos, it's lightning fast like it has been. But this is, again, with eye tracking on, using the standard profile. We're broadcasting at 1080p. It seems to be doing a pretty darn good job. Hopefully the audio is good. I'm using the Ceremonic Blink 500 audio. Yeah, it seems to be doing a good job. You can see even moving toward and away from the camera. Seems to be doing well. I can see the box. You can't see the box, but it switches to my eye very quickly. So again, we'll see the tracking. And we'll just throw a little color in here to see how that color renders. A little background color. This is again at f4. I'm at about 24 millimeters on the lens. The Fuji 18-55 kit lens. I just kind of lost my face, but it gets it right there. When you're close, it doesn't do as good a job as you when you're far away as far as the face and eye detection. But hey, Jason, what's up? I'm surprised somebody joined. Thanks for joining. I'm just doing some autofocus testing. The Fuji X-T4 seems to be pretty good. The X-T3 I thought was good, but there was room for improvement. And this seems really snappy. Again, these settings are just the standard setting. It's the first setting in autofocus. I think there are 5 different settings. I'm on a tripod. I do like that feature that it would normally, a lot of autofocus that has face and eye detect would catch your eye, and it doesn't until you actually have both eyes in, which is nice, so I don't have to block my face like you'll see some people doing. And I do like the way it renders colors. I mean, I've always liked Fuji colors. It's a little overexposed, but let's see. Yeah. So it's got my eyes now. And then as soon as I cover my eyes, it goes right to the SSD and then back off. Seems to do a pretty good job tracking. And the good thing is I've got this set up on a USB-C battery. So I don't have to worry necessarily about getting a dummy battery unless I want to use the USB-C port for something else other than power. But right now I'm powering it by this blown out battery pack that we have here, but this RAV Power USB battery pack. And so it shows a little icon that you're on power, like you're plugged in. And I haven't tested how long that will actually last as far as heat goes, but at sending 1080p, I don't think it'd be too bad. Hey, Bill, how you doing? Wow, I'm surprised I got a couple people. Usually that's about the max I get, even when I schedule my live streams. Do you guys have any questions about the X-T4? I've used it a little bit for photos, a little bit for video. I was going to do a video today, the X-T4 versus the X-T200 for vlogging, which when I stepped out to actually record the video, it started to rain. So I decided I'd do a live stream instead. Good to see you on, though, Bill. Thanks for stopping by. This is probably not the most exciting live stream, but I just wanted to see how this does. In general, I use my A7 III when I'm doing live streams, or my A6400. I want to go to this Fuji. I want to test it with a 35mm lens, f2 that I have, to see how that does, because it's a pretty slow focusing lens. But I wanted to do this particular test with the 18-55 because I know the focus is pretty good on that, and we're at f4 instead of f2. How do the colors look? I added that little blue light in the background. It seems pretty true to colors from what I'm seeing. Again, we'll do the eye test. Yeah, seems pretty good. And I haven't done a stress test for photos with this yet. I've got the 100-400 lens that I'm going to test for birds. But I've got the Fringer. So I'm going to do a review on this. This is the Fringer Pro EF to FX version 1. I started to do a video on this. I actually did the video, and I found that a couple of the lenses made the camera freeze. And I don't know if Fringer is going to update for the X-T4. But it has a flip screen. Yeah, that's a big thing. So the X-T4, one of the biggest features, as far as for me goes anyway, is that flip screen. So I can see, you can't see the camera obviously, but I can see the flip screen, which is great. The X-T200 has a flip screen as well, and this screen is absolutely gorgeous. I wish they would have put this screen from the X-T200 on the X-T4. I guess for cost savings, this X-T200 screen is absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, there's a flip screen. There's also a bigger battery. It's almost double the capacity. And they've added some other features as well. It does 4K 60. It does 240 frames per second and 1080. So they added that slow motion. Yeah, Jason. I go back and forth between Canon colors and Fuji colors, and for photos, I like the Fuji colors much better. For video, I don't know. I'm using my EOS R as my business camera, my business zoom, instead of this crappy little webcam that I have. And people definitely notice the difference. Well, I'm using an f2.8 lens, so they notice that the background is blurry too, but they do like the colors. I like the Canon colors for video. Sorry. Well, thanks guys for showing up. Yeah, Bill, I don't know why. I started out with Nikon. I just can't get into the mirrorless Nikons for whatever reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm so invested in Fuji right now for the mirrorless stuff. And then I have a bunch of Canon lenses, like this Canon 100-400. So on my Sony camera and on my Fuji cameras with the Fringer, and on the Canon cameras, I can use one lens mount, which is great. So I buy one lens and I have it for all those 3 or 4 different systems, which makes things less expensive from a photography perspective. But The one thing about, like I said, this Fringer, it's a great adapter. It's been working fine on the X-T3, another autofocus test, but it seems to lock up on the X-T4 even with a Canon lens. So we'll see. I'm going to have to reach out to support and see if they plan on updating it. But I am impressed with the autofocus. Let's see what else. I don't know what else we can do here. Yeah, not bad. I'll have to see how the 35mm does. It's slower than this lens for autofocus. Oh man, the R5 specs are crazy. The thing is, I'm sure it's going to be expensive. I don't know how much it's going to be. People are guessing anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000. And I do like Canon cameras, but I just got this. I find it hard to, with the EOS R, and I've got the RP as well. The specs are great. I mean, if Canon can deliver, if they're talking about 8K with dual pixel autofocus and all the good stuff not cropped, that would be a major boon. I know all the other stuff pretty much up to this point has been cropped. One of the reasons I don't like Canon for video, but yeah, that R8 should be, I mean, R5 should be crazy. No, that's all right, Jason. We can talk anything we want here. I just figured I would do this live stream for folks who are considering the X-T4, especially for streaming. So I don't know how many minutes we're into this, 12 minutes or so, and I don't expect that it's going to overheat, especially just outputting, not recording at 1080, I think will be fine. I did find I did an XT200 live stream, and I did find that started to overheat actually at about 45 minutes. I was powering it through USB. If I can get a dummy battery, that will probably help. Yeah, I've got the SL2, I think, was probably the first modern Canon camera that I got. It's a great little camera. I use that on a couple Disney World trips for vlogging and photos. It's a solid camera. Let's continue to stress this out if we can. I'm trying to change the focus of the channel so it was Photo Gear Fun. Now I'm Tech Gear Fun because I can't continue to buy camera gear. I'm self-funded. I can't continue to do that and maintain my bank account. So I'm trying to branch out more into tech. I did a review on an outdoor camera on the channel. I'll be doing more tech related stuff. I've got a laptop I just got in that I'll be trying to do a review on. I've never done a laptop review, but I want to try to broaden the scope of the channel and see how that goes. Bill, you must be going crazy not being able to get out there and shoot sports and not watch sports. I know it. I love seeing your photos on Facebook. Oh, yeah, that SL2 video. It's surprising that on the channel, my channel, it's a small channel, the videos that do the best are for like the stuff the big channels don't cover. Some of those Rokinon lenses, some of the other smaller things like some of the Panasonic small point and shoot cameras or the Canon point and shoot cameras, which the bigger channels wouldn't really pay attention to, are ones that tend to do really good on my channel. But yeah, the SL2 did quite well. I think I did a couple videos on the SL2. Yeah, I'm impressed with the autofocus. Vijit, I hope I'm saying that right, Vijit. Thanks for coming as well. Oh, wow. You actually are traveling? I hope everybody's staying safe out there. I think the country's going to start to open back up. I'm still a little leery about getting out and traveling. I don't really have any plans to travel this year, just to be safe. But man, I love to travel. Bill, I don't shoot professionally and go do a lot of sports, but I love just to go out to Duke Gardens or local gardens and get out and shoot some wildlife and do that kind of stuff. And it's been tough, obviously, kind of being locked down. All right, I think I kind of did what I wanted to do with this. It does a good job with autofocus. I like the Eterna profiles. One of the things I like about Fuji for video is the color profiles. I like Eterna, which I'll normally use, but I just wanted to do this in the standard profile. So if anybody wanted to see what the standard profile was like, they can see it. And I'm going to leave this live video posted on the channel. So if anybody's curious about what it looks like, they can see. Take that color out, see how it does. I've got it on auto white balance. Seems to be doing a pretty good job on the white balance. One more try. And I definitely am going to use this for vlogging. I did a video on it for vlogging. And the IBIS is much better. It's better to have IBIS. The X-T4 didn't have any. But it's not great. I think it's good enough for me to do my personal vlogging. I don't know if any pro vloggers would use it, but yeah, Jason. I have saved a lot of money not traveling, that's for sure. And that's one of the reasons I was able to get the X-T4 was instead of traveling, I saved up for that. And it's not an expensive camera, that's for sure. I think it's like $1,700. I got it without the lens, but well, thanks guys for showing up. I'm very happy and surprised that folks showed up, especially in the middle of the afternoon in the US. But I think, unless there are any last minute questions, I think I might end this here. Yeah, that eye autofocus seems to be pretty good. Well, thank you guys for showing up. Look for more videos on the X-T4. Like I said, I'm going to do probably X-T4 with that Fringer adapter, and I've got 5 different lenses that I'll test: the 100 to 400, a 70 to 200 from Tamron, a 24 to 70 f2.8 from Tamron, a f4 70 to 200 Canon, and an 85mm Canon f1.8, and see how it does with the Fringer. And who knows what else will come. I'm probably going to do the video comparing the X-T4 against the X-T200, folks who might be considering a Fuji camera for vlogging, and got to kind of get the budget end and the high end, but look for more. Yeah, definitely want to get together and shoot, Bill, as soon as all this clears up. Thanks, Jason, for coming. I appreciate it. All right. Thanks again, guys. We'll catch you either you'll see me on the next video or maybe on the next live stream. Have a good weekend, everybody.